Hi everyone, this is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors, where we build better contractors. This week I want to talk about 16 brilliant Charlie Munger quotes. Who was Charlie Munger? I'll come to that in a minute. September 24th, we're doing our first webinar in a really long time. Stay tuned for the link for that. It's on the subject of ESOP. So we've had so many questions. 11% of our members on analysis are ESOP companies. Who knew? But it seems like there's more of a groundswell now to learn about them. And is it right for your construction company? I have no idea. But it might be worthwhile to check it out on September 24th of this year. Stay tuned for the link. And don't forget about Boot Camp, October 24 and 25 this year, the last one of 24. We'll be announcing the 25 slate here pretty soon. Who is Charlie Munger, and what in the world has this got to do with your construction company? Charlie Munger was Warren Buffett's partner. Now, everybody in the investing world, everybody in the business world has heard of Warren Buffett. Charlie Munger was right there with him just so many years. He died this year at the age of 99, and he was the vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, sat on lots of boards. He was worth a ton of money. He gave away hundreds of millions of dollars, primarily to universities during his lifetime. But he was a bit of a philosopher, you might say. So I'll read some of these quotes. These are the 16 that I think were the very best. And you tell me. You tell us in the comments if you think Charlie Munger is a business genius or sort of a crank. Who knows? Okay. In my whole life, I've known no wise people who didn't read all the time. You'd be amazed at how much Warren reads and how much I read. My children laugh at me. They think I'm a book with a couple of legs sticking out. Thought that was really good. Now, it's hard to find time to read, I admit that, but now so many great books are available to you on audio, and you just have to sign up for a relatively inexpensive service, and it's right there at your fingertips. So when you're going from job site to job site or traveling or whatever, then you have all that there at your fingertips. Knowing what you don't know is more useful than being brilliant. Love it. Recognize reality even when you don't like it, especially when you don't like it. If you remember, you've heard John Woodcock at Boot Camp talking about the Stockdale Paradox. And that's it. The Stockdale Paradox is the ability to look at the harsh reality while remaining optimistic that you'll prevail in the end. Acknowledging what you don't know is the dawning of wisdom. Everybody engaged in complex work needs colleagues. Just the discipline of having to put your thoughts in order with somebody else is a very useful thing. What's he describing there? To me, he's describing peer groups. So you've got your groups at work, of course, your peer network inside your company, but also your peers outside the company can be a tremendous resource. If you have competence, you know the edge. It wouldn't be a competence if you didn't know where the boundaries lie. Asking whether you've passed the boundary is a question that almost answers itself. That's true. Boy, this is scary. It's a rare business that doesn't have a way worse future than it has a past. Is he counseling against complacency there? Not sure, but that's a scary one. There must be some wisdom in the folk saying it's the strong swimmers who drown. There was recently a world-class triathlete that drowned in the swimming portion of the event, and somehow the safety parameters didn't click into effect, and the poor guy perished. But you can imagine a guy who's at the top of the triathlete world was a very strong swimmer indeed. Does that saying mean that it's the more confident people, the more bold people who put themselves into more risky positions? It could be. I'm not exactly sure the meaning there, but it's kind of a scary philosophy. I didn't succeed in life by intelligence. I succeeded because I have a long attention span. I think we've all known people that flit from idea to idea to idea, and they all sound so good, but they don't have that long attention span. They don't have that stick-to-itiveness and that capability of finishing the things that they start. And I think finishing what you start is a key characteristic to long-term success. The game of life is the game of everlasting learning. At least it is if you want to win. Go to bed smarter than when you woke up. That's an old one. Okay, here are my top 4. Of all the 99 top quotes from Charlie Munger, here are my top 4. We have to have a special insight or we'll put it in the too tough basket. All of you have to look for a special area of competency and focus on that. That's very similar to what Dan Sullivan always said about unique ability. Find what you're uniquely good at in your organization and pursue it. And let other people pursue their unique capabilities, and you'll have a much stronger organization as a result. All right, 3 more. It's remarkable how much long-term advantage people like us have gotten by trying to be consistently not stupid instead of trying to be very intelligent. I know that when we were hiring one of our consultants, Rob Hoover, who's just a blessing to us, holy moly. Rob said that of the dozen or so consulting firms that he interviewed with over time, most of them had the smartest person in the room approach. In other words, the consultant was the smartest person there. He would guide the discussion, or she would guide the discussion, or they would always be the intellectual guiding light to whom everybody else looked. And John and I looked at each other like, golly, we think our peers, our members, our contractors are the smartest people in the room. That's not exactly our philosophy. Rob came here, he didn't go anywhere else. Maybe it speaks for itself, I don't know. We don't train executives, we find them. If a mountain stands up like Everest, you don't have to be a genius to figure out it's a high mountain. I agree with that 1,000%. I would like to tell you that we have a rigorous, amazing training program here, and in a way we do, but it's mostly the people that are already here helping the newer people here get used to things. And we find we're really lucky. We find the amazingly talented people, bring them in, and then they kind of teach us what we didn't know. We teach them a little bit about what we know, but they teach us what we don't know. It's a great thing. Look for talent and get it whenever you can. Finally, avoid working directly under somebody you don't admire and don't want to be like. Thank goodness I've kind of sort of been my own boss for the last 35 years. I worked for some people you just couldn't respect. They weren't smart, they weren't organized, their management techniques were straight out of 1932. So that's a great one, especially for our boot camp type people. Avoid working directly under somebody you don't admire and don't want to be like. I agree with that 1,000%. What's your favorite Charlie Munger quote, or Warren Buffett, or anybody else? Share with us in the comments. This is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors, where we build better contractors.